All right, gang, welcome back to our Adventure Survival here on Szpakowo. It is now September. We've got two things to harvest today. The field that we most recently combined and drilled with sorghum is ready to harvest, and our grapes are finally ready to harvest. So we're going to be doing both of those today. The grapes are probably going to be a bit of a struggle. I'm not positive, just looking at it a little bit closer here, that I actually gave us enough room to properly do that harvest or not, but I guess we will figure it out as we move along, right? First thing first, though, I want to do a little bit of the loose ends here, kind of clean up some of this stuff a bit. More specifically, I want to I already moved the honey over into the hat production. Now I want to go ahead and grab the goat milk here and take that over to our other aged goat cheese production. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. I am. It's a broken record, and I'm only going to say it again for a real quick second because I've talked about it a lot, but I am still dealing with this cough, so I do apologize if, again, something happens where I have to stop the recording. Well, that went really well. Good job there, buddy. Way to go, Z. That was fantastic. All right, there we go. Hope you're all doing well, though, as I mentioned. We can mow the grass, too, as well, but right now we really don't need to unless we're going to do silage. There's plenty of bales there for the sheep. Speaking of the sheep, though, I probably should take a look and see if they need water. They do need water, actually, pretty badly, so let's do that really quick because they're not making anything right now because they are out of water. They run out of water real quick. Really quick. I think the greenhouses are okay, but I figured I'd just top those up. We'll have to top off the ones over there probably in the next episode, I'm sure, but for now it should be fine. All right, we'll turn off the John Deere there. Goats should be back in good working order by the next episode. So yeah, we've got, I don't know, a handful or less episodes left on this series. It's a bit sad. But, it is time to move on, as I've mentioned more times than I can count, so I won't go into it in big detail. But I will say that my members, for the November Members Series, my members get an extra bonus Members Series video once a month and for being a member. We talked about and kind of went through what my plans are for the replacement of this. I do think it's going to be a very good replacement. I think it's going to be a little bit of a different approach. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's I don't expect it to be a very long series, though. I will say that. But I also said the same thing about this series, and we ended up going one of the longer series on the channel by far with this series. So you never know, I guess. But my intention is not for it to be a long series. Somewhere around the 30 range, somewhere 30-ish episodes, something like that. I think that's a really, really good spot to be in as far as episodes go for a series. Like we're going to be doing. I'm not going to give anything specifically away. All I'm going to give away, which I've already given away before, is that it is going to be a survival type of series. It will not be a survival challenge per se, but it will be a survival type of series. So if you're interested in survival type of series, you will like this one, I assure you. With that, we're going to head on over here and we're going to start the harvest of the sorghum. Now, we're not going to do the entirety of that field for the sorghum. I will fully be transparent with you and tell you that right now. We're not going to do that. We've got a lot to do today. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to do everything today, but we've got to spray all the fields we've drilled here recently because we did just drill those outright without plowing up the field, so there's a lot of weeds in there, so we do need to spray all those. So that's 3 fields that we've got to spray, which is going to be a lot. We also have 3 fields here, as you can see, that we're getting ready to pass, which can be drilled. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to drill all of them, but they can be drilled, so we probably will drill those as well. So there's a lot to do today, and that's why there's a chance that we might end up doing 2 episodes here in September, but we will see how we get along today and how long it takes us, and then kind of make our decision from there, if you will. Up here on the left here is our sorghum field. We've got to harvest this field, and then there's a corn and a sunflower field right here and on the far distance there. When those fields have been harvested, that is my decision that we will be ending the series at that point. I said before, we've all kind of agreed that this would be the way we were going to end it as a working farm, and that's what we're doing, right? We're re-drilling things and making sure things are set and continuing on. But I did say, you know, when we at the beginning of this season of play for this year, that my goal was to harvest everything one more time, and those are the last 2 fields to harvest once we're done with this sorghum field here. So that would accomplish our goal. Now, we could run it till December, like I said, but really, there's not going to be a ton for us to do if we decide to run it to December. You know, we're basically just going to be waiting and selling things, and then, you know, doing some other minor work to prepare for the next season. But we're not really going to focus on that. We're just going to focus on, like I said, getting the next couple of months done, and then yeah, we'll win the series at that point and move on to a new one. I'm excited about the new one. It is definitely a different type of series, one that may or may not be interest to you. I don't know. You have to watch it and see. But like I said, it's a survival series, so if you have enjoyed this series, I suspect you will enjoy that one as well. Other than that, things are good, man. The one-tile challenge has been extremely successful so far. We've had 1 episode out. We've decided. I know a few people in the comments are asking some other questions and things like that, and I will go over it when the next episode comes out. At least, hopefully, I remind myself to go over it, but I made a note to do so. But just quickly here, in case you do watch that one and watch this series, we're going to be running that series for a very, very long time. You know, people ask, you know, do you have a set number of episodes you're going to be doing? Not specifically a set number of episodes. We haven't decided on anything about that. I think it'll just be more of kind of a mutual agreement between the 3 of us whenever we think, you know, we've got enough going on, and we've, you know, done enough on that series to kind of end it. But we've all kind of agreed to it this week, that we're all in for the long haul on this one. So what does that mean? Well, I don't really know what that means. I don't know what the long haul actually is going to end up looking like. Could be a year. I really don't know. I mean, one episode a week, it's not that many, right? So, you know, you're getting 4 a month, maybe 5 a month when you have a long month at most. So, you know, we normally do, most of us, I think all 3 of us really, we kind of keep somewhere between the same 30 to 50-ish episodes or something like that. So I don't know. It could be a year, could be a little bit less than a year. I guess we'll have to wait and see as things go along, right? But it'll be a while. It'll definitely be well into next year before it would end. So if you're asking, you know, from a perspective, is it going to be a shortened series or anything like that? Not really. No. It'll be running for quite a while. And with only 1 per week, it should continue to bring excitement, because there's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be a super fast moving series, whereas, you know, some other series you could finish those in a couple of months if you really wanted to. That's not going to be the case here. It is definitely going to be a very long series, and it's going to be a very fun series too. We're very, very excited about it. All of us are. And honestly, I think, you know, just from knowledge perspective of doing the first one, I think once you've paid off the $500,000 loan, once all 3 of us have paid off the $500,000 loan, right? And once we all have a significant, well-operating farm, I think at that point, that's when the decisions need to be made. How much longer are we going to go? Until that happens, I don't even think that decision or that conversation really needs to happen, right? We've all got to get that $500,000 paid off, and we all have to be able to, well, really farm the entirety of the land that we currently own. And, you know, that, in my opinion, is not going to be something that is going to be even remotely within the conversation until we get to at least probably 20 episodes, I would think. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it'll be earlier than that. But I would think it would be somewhere within that 15 to 20 episode range before there's even a question of, you know, how much longer do we want to go? And that's probably being a little bit aggressive, I would think, right? I mean, I'm just thinking back to when I did the one-tile challenge by myself and watching other people that did the one-tile challenge as well. You know, I really didn't start seeing any kind of super... I'm not really wording this right. I didn't really see any kind of, you know, insane fruits of my labor until I was closer to like 25, 30 episodes. So I would think it would be something in the similar realm here. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see, I guess, right? We'll see. Now, I know a couple people were like, well, you know, you guys are all kind of starting with different amounts of money. No, we're not. It seemed like that, I guess, at the beginning because of the way that we kind of started it off, which was a little weird. I will fully agree with that, but that was kind of what the guys kind of agreed to and they wanted to do. They were very, very concerned with the amount of money I was going to give them. I was going to give them way less than they actually started with. You know, like I said, we started with just over $200,000. It was about $208,000 per person. That's where it was. That's exactly what the amount was. $208,000 with some change. It was like $300 or something like that. I think if you watch Crestu, I think Crestu's is the one that actually has that full amount. Like I said, I did a little bit of work off camera with fences and lights and stuff, so I wasted a little bit of money. But, yeah, so they, I was going to give them, honestly, I was going to give them about $130,000, which was about, don't quote me on this because it's been a while and I did not go back before I started talking about this and look at it. But I think we started with like $107-ish thousand with the one tile challenge initially, I think. Or it was around that. So I was going to give us, you know, around $20,000 more than what we started with originally. But they were very concerned about that, and rightfully so. I mean, you saw. I mean, we've still got some money to play with in the last episode if you watched it. But it goes quick, right? The stuff we're utilizing, it's not cheap. We're not utilizing a whole lot of, you know, cheap mods. We don't have a whole lot of mods installed. We are going to be installing some more mods before the second episode. I will tell you that. I'm not sure if I'll actually go through the mods we installed on the episode. I probably won't. But we are going to add some more mods to it, and those are going to continue to happen, right? More mods are going to continue to happen to that series as we move along, right? Because you're going to want to add more things as you get bigger and other ideas and things like that. And but it has to be kind of agreed upon between all three of us, right? I can't just, you know, sneak in a mod and not tell them about it, right? All of us have to kind of be on board and say, yeah, let's put that in. Anyway, enough about the one tile challenge. Let's talk about the Vintage Survival series. So, this is, and as I've mentioned before in the past, this by far has become one of my favorite series that we've done. I've really, really enjoyed it. We will be back and do another Vintage Survival series if this is something that you're really, really into. And maybe the next one I come up with isn't, you know, to your speed. I hope it is, but if it isn't, I promise we will be doing another Vintage Survival series in the future. I promise. I enjoyed this way too much to not. So we will be doing another one. We will also be doing a survival challenge in the near future as well. More than likely, and I can't, don't hold me to this because I can't guarantee it, but more than likely when this next survival series is over, we will be going back to a survival challenge series, and then we'll probably jump to a vintage one from there. Alright, we are full of sorghum, so we've got to get the semi over here so we can unload. And then from that point after that, I'm probably going to put this on a worker, I think. I went around that pole there because I knew at some point I am going to put that on a worker, and they always seem to have issues when they get close to the pole. That's what she said. Anyway, so our grapes are ready as well. As you can see, there's a little bit of a bluish purple color there at the bottom. They are ready to harvest, so we'll be doing that today as well. We don't have all the equipment specifically that we need after we've got the grapes harvested to continue them, so we're going to have to buy some more stuff. Now that stuff, as we said with the harvester itself, is a little bit on the edge of actually being within the realm of this series, and what I mean by that is within the time period that we're trying to stick between with this series. But you know, we're utilizing a bit of a bending the rules a bit to say that, you know, they're prototypes that were made in the 90s and then came out in the early 2000s, and I think that holds water. Alright, so we'll let that unload. So, I'd like to do the harvest, but I'd also like to get a drilling going on some of the other fields. And we've got to pick up that straw, too. I forgot about that straw. I guess we don't necessarily have to pick it up today, but we probably should. We'll have to think about it, I guess. Alright, so first things first here, I want to get this seed out of here. This seed's been sitting here for a while. I want to get it picked up and put in. Alright, perfect. So we're going to fill this up. I don't necessarily know if we actually really need to fill it up, but we're going to fill it up anyway. Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can I even drill that stuff right now? I don't even know. I might have picked the wrong thing here. Barley, canola. Yeah, we can't. Shit. I thought we could still do... Ah, damn. Well, I just put the seeds in here for no reason, but that's, you know, that's fine. It is what it is. We're not really concerned about the money anymore. I talked about that a number of times by now, so... I just picked up the seeds and put them in here, and I'm just going to put it back away. Whoops. Takes a long time to unload that for some reason. We got a bunch of eggs to sell again, which is great. Alright, we need solid fertilizer big time here. And I need to not forget that that one field we didn't end up actually doing the entirety of the fertilizer, so we're going to have to do some more fertilizer. What? What just happened here? I glitched out or something. There it goes. I don't know, that was weird. Anyway, let's move on. So we're going to get the workers started here on doing a field. Now, I think what I'm going to do is do a canola field, and then the other fields will be, you know, wheat or a barley of some sort. I'm not sure. I know we already have some canola fields, but I'm going to add another canola field in. I like canola. We can do it with the canola oil, so I think I'm going to just go ahead and do another one, even though we're actually not going to be harvesting it, so it doesn't really matter what I put in there. But yeah, I'm going to do that anyway. And man, all those beehives, we barely get any bees at all. It's a little insane, honestly. Like that needs to be fixed. Like that is absolutely ridiculous. That's my opinion. All right, that's going. So we'll get back to the harvester here. Nope, I forgot. This is that harvester where if you go to too many different pieces of equipment, it turns itself off. It's a little annoying. All right, we're going to get this reset here, put this on a worker, and then we're going to start the grapes. Now, that is going to need some gas pretty soon, I think. But hopefully we'll be able to get that whole field done before it needs it. Hope and pray. Just going to move this out of the way just to be safe. The workers like to be weird sometimes. Alright, so... I went too far. There's the Volvo. That's what we need. And we're going to see how this goes. I'm not sure what to expect here. Like I said, I hope I gave myself enough room. I don't know for sure if I did. It's going to be a struggle. This Volvo should be able to drive up and down the rows. It should. If it doesn't, then we're in even bigger trouble with the grapes. Like, huge trouble. As in, we're not going to be able to harvest them. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to start down here. Alright, I'm going to need to turn this on. I don't... unfold harvester, okay. Well, this isn't going to work. It's unfolded. What are you talking about? What? Hey? It says unfold. Okay, unfold harvester. Okay. There we go, I think. I think this will work. I hope this is going to work. Yes, it's working. Okay, good, good, good. This is going to work. It's not going to be the most elegant thing in the world, but it is working. We are harvesting grapes, gang. I've got to be very, very careful with this tractor. I think it's probably actually easier for me to go from at this angle. This is working. This is great. I really wasn't expecting it to work. Now, the struggle is going to be when we get down to the end, but, you know, the turning back here, I'm not sure I gave myself enough room. I might have to remove some of these. Please let me give enough room. Please tell me there's enough room here. Oh, yeah, there is. There is, but only just, but there is enough room. Only just. Okay, it works. How about that? I was not expecting that, and I'm very, very happy that it works, gang. Very, very happy. Turn that off for the time being. Now, I think I'm going to have to just kind of drive down to the end here. I don't think I'm even going to attempt to try to go... Whoa, just run right into that. That's fine, too. I don't think I'm even going to attempt to try to turn around there in the middle. Whoa! Okay. All right. That's not good. All right. There. Okay. All right. Maybe. Yep. 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 Yeah, this is great, man. This is awesome. I'm very, very happy with this. Now, grapes. What are we going to do with the grapes? I mean, probably just sell them outright. We're not going to have enough time to do anything, unfortunately, with them. This was kind of a last-minute thing after I saw the, you know, the size of where we had here. I just thought this would fit better. But, you know, it's something different, right? We added something different into play here, so we'll take it. We'll take it. Okay, evidently we did not pick up those down there. Interesting. That's a little weird. Guess I'm going to have to try to get those again, potentially. Now, we're going to try... This is probably not the smartest thing in the world to do, but here we're going to try to back this up into here and realign it so we can go down this other path. Yeah, this is not going to work. I mean, I'm going to have to go down to the other end every time, I think. I might be able to do this one. Ooh. A little rough. I didn't really give myself as much room as I should have, but you know what? It's working, so I can't really complain that much, right? It is definitely working. Although we are struggling a bit to drive down the vines here. The Volvo is just slightly too big is all it is. It's just slightly too big. Alright, we are full. So we're going to have to go and redo these again, but that's okay. So, I hope... I haven't looked at this. I really haven't. So I'm very hopeful that this is going to work. I don't know if we're going to be able to unload these into our silos or not. I have no idea. So we're kind of hoping for the best here, I guess is how I'll put it. Pipe out. Alright, that's not working. I don't think this is going to work. It's not accepting them right now. I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, it's not letting me unload it. So, okay. So what are we going to do? I guess I can try to dump it into the trailer. I don't think this is going to work, but we might have to get it lowered. We have to get another small trailer, I think, potentially. Because I don't think this is going to work, but, you know. Alright, this isn't going to work. So how do I unload these? Okay, so let's find... Grape trailers. So we need to buy one of these. And the problem with these are I don't think these are old enough. So that kind of goes against the whole point here. But we need to get these out of here, so... We're going to go ahead and bend the rules a bit and buy that. So I will head up to the shop and find that, bring it back here, and let's see if we can unload it. Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to need the John Deere. I bet this is not going to work. I bet I have to be hooked up to a tractor. I don't think that's going to work. Let me use the John Deere. I'll head up there, get the other grape trailer, and I guess we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed that this is going to work. All right, well, let's see if let's see if we can get this to work. I'm a little concerned here. I'm afraid that this isn't going to work either. And if it doesn't, then we are in really, really big trouble. Because it says pipe out, but I don't see any pipe out here at all. So... Okay, there it goes. It is working. Alright. I don't know. So evidently the grapes are not going to be able to be put into the silo. So that's, you know, a bit unfortunate there as well, I guess. But, I guess it could be worse, right? I guess it could be worse. At least this is going to allow us to get the grapes harvested. Since I went on that venture. Right, so that, you know, it's only halfway full, a little less than halfway full, so we should be able to go back into groove here of harvesting some more. I don't think we're going to get to that straw today. I don't think we're going to get to a lot of things today. I think we're going to be doing another episode in September here. I don't see any way we don't. Alright, evidently we got that, evidently. It doesn't, I mean, it looks like there's grapes there to me. But it, yeah, it's saying we got them, so... Alright, well... I mean, we went down this road, definitely. We still had room, so maybe it's just a bit of a glitch down there, I guess. But there's definitely still grapes on that. What are we struggling on here? We are getting stuck on something here. Oh, what is going on? I'm going to say, we are super struggling. We're still getting stuck again here. Maybe I didn't have it out far enough, I guess, the tool? I don't know. Well, this is the worst that we've done going down these rows. I must not have it out far enough because it's definitely getting stuck multiple times here. Alright, so let's push it out more, I guess, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Alright, let's try to go down this row here that we haven't hit. And there's still grapes on that. I don't know. This is it's acting weird. I don't know. I don't know what to say here. Okay, well, it's taking the grapes on this one, so let's just go for it, I guess. If it doesn't get them all, it doesn't get them all. What are we going to do at this point? Nothing. There's nothing we can do. So definitely the Volvo, it works, but we definitely need a smaller tractor. This is really not, you know, the tractor we need. That's why we're having a lot of these issues, I think. So the worker evidently finished the harvest, by the way. I suspect there's probably some stuff missed, but it says that the worker finished it, so we'll take a look at that here in a second. Once we're done with this harvest. This has definitely been a struggle. Actually, just a standard grape harvester is much easier than this, I will tell you that. At least it works. But it's a struggle. Alright, so we got a couple more rows here to do. And then these are done. Whoa! Okay, this might have been a mistake here. Please let me turn. Please let me turn enough. I think we're going to be okay. We got to straighten it out one more time here, but I think we're going to be all right. Okay. That should just about do it. Alright, let's unload the rest of these in here. They should fit in here. And then I'm actually going to make a bit of a move here. I mean, not that we're going to leave them in there, because we're probably just going to sell these outright, but... I want to take the trailer over there and see if it'll unload into the actual silo. I want to see if maybe it's just the specific machine won't allow it to unload until it unloads into a trailer, because I think there is a bit of that going on with the grapes. Or if it's, you know, as simple as the fact that those silos just don't accept grapes, which makes sense, right? It does make sense, but just want to test it out anyway. Okay, they don't accept grapes. All right, there you go. Simple answer right there. So, grapes. Where are we selling these guys at? I have no clue. Grapes. All right, so we've got Spax Trans, which I think is the same place we always sell it. It is. It's the exact same place we always go to. So the harvester thinks they're done, but they're clearly not. The drill thinks they're done as well, and they're going to kill a little bit of our corn in the process. That's a bit unfortunate. Maybe they didn't. No, they did kill some. They definitely killed some. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? So we're going to put in wheat on this field. So we're going to sell the grapes. We're going to finish the sorghum harvest. And then we'll see where we're at as far as the episode goes and time goes. So let's head on up here and let's get these things sold. I sort of put this into the silo, and then I thought to myself, what am I doing? What are you doing, Z? They need to go in the... This goes to the mill. We're going to make flour out of this. This goes to the mill. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, we're putting this in the mill now at this point, so... And I think at this point, once we're done with this, we're going to leave the episode at this point as well. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you did, and you haven't done so already, smash that like and subscribe button for me. They're free to do. It helps me out more than you could possibly imagine. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are absolutely the best. If you want to become a member, there's a link down below. It gets you access early to videos just like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, as always, let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on anything and everything. Whether you like what I say or not, I'm happy to get back to you on it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your continued support, especially. It's exciting times, man. This series is coming to an end, which is bittersweet, but there's something going to be replacing it that I think is going to be just as fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.